got to understand everyone's going to want to know about that because everyone's thinking,
what
was he thinking?
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for actors who opted out of roles in films that ended up having a lot of success.
It wasn't like actually offered it, the script came to me, but at that time I had just gotten off of Married with Children and I felt like it was too close to what I had just been doing.
Number 10, Denzel Washington, Michael Clayton, and Seven. A rookie director doesn't necessarily equate to rookie work. Denzel Washington saw that reality take form with Tony Gilroy's Michael Clayton, a film that he turned down.
There's no play here. There's no angle, there's no champagne room. I'm not a miracle worker, I'm a janitor. The math on this is simple. The smaller the mess, the easier it is for me to clean up.
The legal thriller would wind up being nominated for several Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director. The actor later admitted that he let his doubts about a first-time feature director get in the way and was ultimately wrong to not take the part.
I didn't trust, I'll be honest with you, I didn't trust working with a director I hadn't directed before. I was wrong.
Besides Michael Clayton, Washington has expressed regret about turning down the 1995 crime thriller Seven after reading the script, which he called too demonic.
Pit play, they asked me first, and I just thought, this is so dark. And then I saw the movie and tried.
Instead of Washington in a starring role as Detective David Mills, it was Brad Pitt. Number 9, Eddie Murphy, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and Rush Hour. Even when expressing regret, Eddie Murphy can convey it in a hilarious way. He did just that when talking about turning down a starring role in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
The only movie I ever turned down that became a big hit was that Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
You were gonna be in that?
Cartoon animation and humans combined in one? We sort of get what you're saying, Eddie, particularly given the time when this movie came out, the late 80s. But Murphy clearly figured out later that it can work, and really well.
Now every time I see it, I feel like an idiot.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit was a financial hit and won several Oscars. Murphy also turned down the role of Detective Carter in Rush Hour. Of course, Chris Tucker nailed that part instead. Murphy opted for a film that would turn out to be a colossal box office failure, Holy Man.
I don't like it.
Number 8, Halle Berry, Speed. One of Sandra Bullock's biggest hits early in her career was Speed.
Miss, can you handle this bus?
Oh, sure. It's just like driving a really big Pinto.
I need to know, can you handle this bus?
I'm fine. Just tell me what the plan is.
But her character, Annie, had previously been offered to someone else. Halle Berry had a chance to pounce on the opportunity early in the process. At the time, the script wasn't what it ultimately became. Could you imagine the bus in Speed not even leaving the parking lot?
But in my defense, when I read the script, the bus didn't leave the parking lot.
Well, that parallel film universe is what Berry thought she was signing up for. Looking back years later, she expressed some lighthearted regret about her decision. However, she eventually did get to share the screen with Keanu Reeves in another action flick.
We're not going in like the old days. It's just a conversation.
Nothing's ever just a conversation with you, John.
Number 7, Henry Winkler, Grease. Many know him as the Fonz from Happy Days.
Were you able to fix my car?
Hey, I can fix anything that starts with a key and goes.
Well, good. May I sit down?
Oh, yeah, plant yourself.
Henry Winkler mastered the role to such an extent that he was bumped up to be a main character. The people wanted more Fonzie, and they got him. Winkler could have also played a too cool greaser in the 1978 musical rom-com Grease.
Is it true?
Is it true?
You turned down Grease?
Yes,
movie?
I did. I turned down Grease. Yes. No, I thought I had done the Fonz for 10 years. I didn't want to get typecast.
But it wasn't in the cards. He rejected the opportunity to play Danny Zuko, and the part later went to John Travolta. It turned out to be an iconic role in an iconic film. Winkler described his worry of being typecast and went on to call himself a fool for not taking the part.
Well, I was on drugs at that moment. And, John Travolta went on to, and not only that I can't sing, but he went on to be brilliant in Grease and bought a plane.
Number 6, Christina Applegate, Legally Blonde. Playing the character Elle Woods in Legally Blonde just didn't seem like the right route to Christina Applegate following the conclusion of the sitcom Married with Children.
No, it's for my acting career. I'm taking an improv class. Improvisation where you make things up.
Why don't you make up $100?
After reading the script, she viewed it as too similar to her previous work. Although she stated the role was never directly offered to her, she did end up missing out. Legally Blonde ended up being something of a cultural phenomenon.
I go here.
You go where?
Harvard. Law school.
You got into Harvard Law?
What, like it's hard?
However, this is thanks in large part to Reese Witherspoon's efforts as the main character. Applegate was classy about the way things unfolded, praising Witherspoon in an interview and making some funny comments on Watch What Happens Live.
No, I don't regret it because Reese Witherspoon did a much better job than I ever could, and she has now way more money than I do and way more success. And so why would I even regret that?
Number 5, Bruce Willis, Ghost. When given a chance to star as Sam Wheat in the supernatural romance film Ghost, Bruce Willis's sixth sense was telling him something wasn't right.
I'm so sorry, Anna. I just can't seem to keep track of time. And I didn't have a very good session today.
A dead guy involved in a romance seemed peculiar to him. The role went to Patrick Swayze. Ghost turned out to be the third highest grossing film ever at the time of its release. It was nominated for several Academy Awards as well.
Can I help?
Yeah. Get him wet. Now just let the clay slide between your fingers.
Willis later labeled himself a knucklehead for turning it down. Before the turn of the century, another film involving similar supernatural elements was on the table, The Sixth Sense. Willis seized the opportunity that time.
Of course.
Number 4, Will Smith, The Matrix. Keanu Reeves was the benefactor of Will Smith turning down the role of Neo in The Matrix.
I know Kung Fu. Show me.
The science fiction film became hugely influential, as well as garnering critical praise and commercial success. But Smith wasn't moved by the unique special effects that the Wachowskis pitched when discussing the Fresh Prince's potential involvement in the movie.
And we're gonna invent these cameras, and then people can see the whole jump while you stop in the middle of the jump. So I made Wild Wild West.
So what did he do instead of The Matrix? Far from his most notable work, he opted for Wild Wild West. But he wasn't the only big name to turn down the role of Neo. Brad Pitt did as well. The Matrix also could have had Madonna, but she turned down the role of Trinity.
I was given the script to The Matrix. I was offered the role of Trinity. Yeah, and I read this script and I'm like, this is the stupidest I've ever read in my life.
Number 3, Sean Connery, the Lord of the Rings franchise. Turning down the role of Gandalf meant Sean Connery missed out on a big-time film series and a whole lot of money. With an alleged $30 million per film offer, plus a cut of the box office, the James Bond actor could have reportedly earned more than $400 million by playing Gandalf.
Gandalf? Bill Baggins.
Dear Gandalf.
Good to see.
Obviously, Connery had built an impressive career already and didn't need to be Gandalf to make his stamp on the industry. But for many people, it's safe to say that if they could wave a magic wand and earn the opportunity to play Gandalf for that kind of money, they'd do it.
Where are you going?
There's some things that I must see to.
What things?
Questions. Questions that need answering.
Number 2, Matt Damon, Avatar. James Cameron offered a lucrative deal to Matt Damon in hopes that the actor would agree to play the starring role of Jake Sully in his epic science fiction film, Avatar.
Oh, I don't regret any of the movies that I've done or the choices that I've made. It's, you know, everything shapes who you are and the next thing that's going to happen to you.
Damon opened up about why he turned it down, citing his filming schedule for the Bourne franchise.
Other than that, there was an actual scheduling conflict, so I literally couldn't do it. But
in terms of just how much money Damon missed out on, we're taking in the hundreds of millions. Instead of Damon, it was Sam Worthington who assumed the role of Jake and found himself as an integral part of a blockbuster series.
This is Jake Sully.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know who you are, and I don't need you. I need your brother. You know, the PhD who trained for 3 years for this mission?
He's dead. I know it's a big inconvenience for everyone.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Bert Reynolds, Star Wars franchise and James Bond franchise. Being offered roles in 2 of the most iconic film franchises of all time, in Star Wars and James Bond, is no small feat.
Bond. James Bond.
That's what happened to Burt Reynolds, but he turned down both opportunities. With a chance to play Han Solo, Reynolds just figured science fiction wasn't up his alley.
Did you turn down the role of Han Solo in the original Star Wars?
That I did.
You did? Why?
Because I thought that, you know, I don't like science fiction pictures.
As for Bond, an opportunity to play the title character was on the table. However, he felt like he wasn't the right fit given he was American, not British. Later in his life, Reynolds expressed some regrets about his decisions, but hey, his career wasn't too shabby without them.
Looking back, do you regret not playing Bond?
Yes, I do.
Is there an actor's decision that you wish went differently? Let us know in the comments.
Made a good movie. It wasn't like I turned it down in as much as I wasn't available because I was doing this other movie.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.